Al? Long time no talk. All right, so today we're going to continue on our series of making non-Christmas things into Christmas things. I don't know why, but this is something that I look forward to every year because I love making things something that they aren't, but also really stretching the value of my stamp sets. I only have so much storage, and so I want my stamp sets to go literally as far as I can make them go and make them super versatile. So this is one of my favorite times of year because I get to look at things with a whole new light and make non-Christmas things into Christmas things. Hello. Well, great, Joanne. I'm happy that you're here. Work schmirk, whatever. So we're going to start by taking the Tropical Flora stamp set. So obviously Tropical Flora is not a Christmas stamp set at all whatsoever. You can tell this is a hibiscus flower. I'm also going to use the Gift Exchange Mouse stamp set. Then I have a card base, just a plain normal white card base. I have a piece of Stampin' Up! Really red, paper. That's what it is. Words are hard. Don't mind me. And then inside my MISTI here, I have a piece of Sweet Sentiment, the new craft paper. If you have not tried the new craft paper, OMG, totally missing out. It is awesome. Super thick, super amazing. So I'm going to start by stamping this first. So what I have is the geometric from the Tropical Flora stamp set. And all I've done is, let me explain my process to you. So first off, my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So then when I trim my matting piece, I trim that down 1/8 of an inch. And then I trim this piece down 1/8 of an inch from that. So that makes this perfectly 4 inches by 5 1/4. So since this is 4 inches, I can line up this geometric on the 2-inch line. So it's perfectly at 2 inches. And I've used the lines in the MISTI to line them up directly with this line that goes through the center of the geometric. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my Memento Tuxedo Black. A lot of people have asked me about this technique, so that's why I'm showing it today. So I have my Tuxedo Black, and I'm like an over inker. I like to ink and ink and ink. And then I close it, and I use my espresso to make sure that I have nice even pressure to make a wonderful impression to begin with. So since this is craft paper, I really like to do a second layer. You can leave it just like that. You don't have to do a second layer if you don't want, but I really like to do a second layer. So now what I do, once I open this, is I take my magnets off and I flip this around. Now, theoretically, if I lined everything up properly, this should stamp exactly opposite of this. So I'm going to take a look just to make sure. Looks good to me. If it's a tiny bit off, it really doesn't bug me because the center of this is going to be covered. So I'm not super worried if it's a little bit off. I don't want it like super askew though. And it does look like it's going to be just a little bit off, but hey. I'll say what Tyler says. At the end of the day, it's homemade or handmade or whatever suits your fancy there. Okay, so check out that. super duper cool. Put my ink set away, or ink pad away. And then I'm going to grab, I've already wet my chamois today. So this is my Sweet Sentiment stamp chamois that Lena made. We have a couple of them in the store. We have yellow ones right now. Okay. Hi, Holly. Okay. So then I'm going to take this out of here. Put that away. And so now I have this really cool geometric. So I'm going to grab 2 pencils. I have my Luminance white pencil, and then I have, this is dark sepia, so just randomly chose a dark brown. And then I'll zoom in for you guys. Thank you. I love the geometrics. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose one side of this to be highlight and one side of this to be shadow. So in my brain, the top side is always gonna be highlight. So I'm gonna go along the top half of everything. Not everything, because I know a lot of it's gonna be covered just in the card design that I'm making. And I'm not putting very much pressure on this at all. And I'm also like, I don't care if it's like super perfect. I want it to be a little bit like sketchy and organic looking. You guys are being quiet out there. What did you do this weekend? Anybody do anything fun? Okay. Hi, Tyler. Hola, Jane. Yes, Joanne, you did move. Oh, you took Charlotte to see Santa at Magic Kingdom? How fun is that? So now I'm going to take my brown pencil and I'm going to go under the line. So on the first part, I was only highlighting the highlights, and this time I'm only highlighting the shadows. Did she like Santa? Hello, hi Jen. What did she tell Santa that she wanted for Christmas? I keep on asking my son what he wants for Christmas and he has no idea, so. He's like, I don't know, I don't need anything. You don't have to buy me anything. But I know if I didn't buy him something, he would be sad. Look at how cool that looks. Oh, how cute is that? And you can get as wild and persnippety with this as you want. I just like to have the idea of it on there. So I also will take my finger and I'll kind of rub this in a little bit so that it's not so stark. So do the white part first, wipe your finger off, and then do the brown part. And the oils from your finger will just smear that in just a little bit. Okay? All right. Joanne, he is 15. Yeah, so a very difficult age to buy for. So now I'm going to grab my Tropical Flora. And I'm going to start with R89 because we're going to make this a red flower. So I'm not going to pay a whole lot of mind to this. I'm just going to go for it. We are making all things non-Christmas into all things Christmas. I'll probably continue doing that for most of the month because I just love doing that. I love making things other than what they are. And to me, it just expands what all of your stamp sets can do for you if you just look at things a different way. My stepdaughter keeps telling me, I don't know. She thought about wrapping a piece of paper that says, I don't know, but she wouldn't think it was funny. My hubby and other kids would. I'd find that hilarious. I'd make a little wooden block that says, I don't know on it. Or I'd get her a gift certificate to I don't know. Like make her a little gift certificate to a store that's called I don't know. That would be funny. I had a friend in elementary school that him and his brother were very into, let's just say they were little tyrants, little hellions. And their mom wrapped up a bunch of like wooden blocks, different sizes of wooden blocks, and put their names on them under the tree. And they had a wood stove, and so every time one of them was bad or did something horrible or whatever, she would take one of their presents and she'd throw it in the fireplace. Now, they never noticed because, I don't know, I guess because we were just little. Apparently they never noticed that their mom was just throwing away blocks of wood, because as soon as the Christmas paper burns off, then it's just a block of wood. But apparently they didn't realize that. So I have R39 as my second color. And so she would put up her tree like the day after Thanksgiving. Back when, you know, that was a thing and we weren't putting up our trees like at Easter. And so they would come to school like all bummed. Like, my mom put one of my gifts in the fireplace. And then all the years later, she told us that it was blocks of wood. It's pretty funny. Speaking of Christmas and stuff, it is snowing here right now. Does anybody else have snow? Ew. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of snow. I like snow like this when it's just, when I can stay inside and it's snowing outside and I don't have to go anywhere, which I have an HOA meeting today at 4, but other than that, I don't have to go anywhere and I can just sit and color. And I'm working on some new projects for Sweet Sentiment. We have some cool stuff coming. And yeah, no snow in Florida, huh, Tyler? So I'm working on some really cool projects for Sweet Sentiment. And yeah, so it's fine that it's snowing, but I don't want there to be snow left over tomorrow. Coloring this will also help you with your hair. Yeah, no snow in Texas, huh, Holly? Thunderstorms in Georgia. Ew. I have R29 now. I'm just having a hard time with Christmas this year for some reason. I feel like everybody is so entitled right now and they just want everything. And so I'm just having a really hard time. Like, people expect things to be given to them. And it's really hard on me, like mentally, because I don't know. It just seems, I guess it's just the world today. I guess it's just how the world is right now. I'm just feeling very cynical. And usually I am like a Christmas overload person. Usually I'm like done with my Christmas shopping in October and I buy for like literally everybody, and I go to the Salvation Army and I grab a name off the tree. Oh, there's not much pressure at all. Joanne, on a scale of 1 to 10, my pressure is probably 0.5. I'm just barely skimming the tip of the marker across the paper. And you'll see that some of my brush strokes don't even leave a mark. That's why this is great practice for doing hair. So, if you guys have anything that will put me in the Christmas spirit, let me know. I spent the entire morning listening to Pentatonic's Christmas music on YouTube, because they're awesome. Hoping that that would help me feel a little more Christmassy. I mean, I put up my Christmas tree, but I usually put up 5 Christmas trees, and this year I put up 1. Look at how gorgeous red that is. Then I'm gonna go to our 14. And I'm gonna start at the tip and work my way back. I wish I had some funny story or something to tell you guys, but I really don't. We went to, thanks Kirsten. We went to I took my mom to a Christmas craft fair, well, vintage market days. And saw a bunch of really cool vintagey stuff. Bought a really cool gift for one of my friends. Some assembly required, of course. I got her stuff to make a centerpiece, like a vintage centerpiece. Hi, Karen. Because we're into all that crazy stuff. So if you do not have this flower and you need this flower, because you do really need this flower, it was a special edition for our summer retreat, the Surf's Up retreat. And I do have a couple of them left, and they are in the store right now. So sweetsentiment.us. There's stamps and dies. Christmas time is here. If you guys need gift certificates, Sweet Sentiment gift certificates, let me know. Send me a DM or have your hubby or boyfriend or sugar daddy, no judgments. Have them contact me and get you a gift certificate. Gift certificates are good on all things. I do have a shipment of Copic coming. It'll be here just before Christmas. So there's that. But it will be here. I'm not sure how much before Christmas, but I'm guessing like the week before Christmas. All right. Okay. Working on cups. So now I have G29. And I'm going to make these leaves like a bright green. A little more comical than I normally would. Because I want this to really scream Christmas. So, and plus hibiscus leaves are pretty green. Can you tell I've colored this flower just a few times? That might be a hint of what's to come. Hint, hint. Something cool is coming. You guys are going to be so excited. I know a lot of you will be really excited. Then I have G19. I wonder if anybody can guess what it is, because my Instagram stories, I gave a hint the other day, but not even the design team knows. Just once or twice. Maybe twice, or a couple of dozen, whatever. Semantics. Then I have YG09. Thanks, Joanne. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the DHT has been very confused on what is coming. Because I have secrets, Tyler. Secrets. Secrets that only Sandy and I know. It's nothing that adds any more work to you guys. That's why you don't know about it. Okay, now I have to do the little stamen. I want to say glitter. No, there will not be Sweet Sentiment glitter. There's too many glitter manufacturers right now that I don't even want to toss my hat in that arena. Now, I'm not super precise on coloring this little stamen because I've colored a few hundred of these at this point. But it's not really necessary to be like super precise. Hi, Jen. I know your thoughts on secrets, Tyler. Jen doesn't know the secret either. Nobody on the design team knows the secret other than Sandy and I. So neener, neener. And I'm just using a stippling technique to kind of add some texture to these. So rude. Thanks, Vanessa. Y21. Oops. All right. So see how quick that was to color in? Very quick and easy to color in this particular flower. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna zoom out. I guess that's all of my zooming out capabilities. And I have the dies right here. So what I'm gonna do is put this is my magnetic plate, and then this is my top plate. And I do better if it's like this. And I line these up. So even though I have a magnetic plate, I still sometimes tape them down. So, well, yeah, just give Sandy a call. Go for it. See what happens. I don't know that she'll tell you. There we go. So even though this is a magnetic plate, sometimes I still tape them down. Just because I don't want them to move, and I want like an extra insurance policy. Oh, see how I did that, Tyler? An insurance policy on my dies. I don't even know where Sandy is right now. I haven't talked to her yet today, which is very unlike us, because we're usually on the phone pretty much 24/7. Not gonna lie. Hi, Mama. I'm coloring Christmas flowers out of tropical flowers. Okay. And then your two little stamen. At least I think that's what these are called. I could be wrong. Thank you, Mom. Okay, so one moment, talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go run this through my die cutter. Okay, it's still snowing outside. I can't believe it. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Sandy got me started doing this, but I put, these are business card magnets, and I put them on the back of my stamp sets. And so it stores your die with your stamp sets right then and there. which is super nice. And it keeps them from all like pooling down at the bottom. They have popcorn garland on a big tree at Magic Kingdom, and all I could think about was how cool yours was. Tyler and Cameron got to go to my mom's house and see her starting to put up her Christmas decorations. You don't have any snow, Kirsten? That's crazy. I mean, it's not, well, I guess it's kind of starting to stick in the grass, but it's not like really sticking anywhere. Okay. So then I'll put that back in its envelope. Okay, so now I have my card, or I'm sorry, my flower, like this. So first things first, what I do is I grab my glue and I put my stamens together. So your stamen is made to be a mirror image, so they fit together perfectly. Not a lot of lining up or anything that has to happen. So I just put those together and I set that aside. Next, what I do is, so where the flower petals separate, I just use my scissors and I snip down a little bit further on that. Okay, and I do that on both of the flowers. This flower is, you only have one flower today, so you only need one stamen. Okay, so then what I do is I take my distress sprayer with water and I flip this over and I just spray it. And this disturbs the paper fibers so that I can wrinkle them. Breaks them down and I just wrinkle it with my fingers. And I try to make sure they're not all wrinkled in the same direction. And then I hold this in my hand like this so that it shapes it. And the great thing about sweet sentiment paper is that if you leave it, it'll get rigid again. I'm being fancy, Joanne. Being super fancy schmancy. Yes, Holly. And then once I get these where I like them, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to do that to the leaves as well. See, no special flower shaping tools necessary, just your fingers. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces, right? So the other thing I'm going to go grab really fast is I have my sponge. I need to go grab my glitter. Okay. here's my glitter. Okay, so are you guys ready? Here we go. So I'm gonna take this piece, I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue right here. I like to use hot glue on this just because it dries so quickly. And I'm gonna make sure that these petals are offset. Okay. Now, before I put the stamen in, I'm going to go ahead and use some of this glue. Try not to get it all over my fingers. And apparently I put this on the edge that had yellow ink on it, so the edges of my flowers are yellow. But that's no matter to me. And it makes it all pretty and frosted. If you want more, just add more. Okay. Put that away before we go too crazy on that. Yeah, that's how you do, man. Okay, it gives it just that frosted look. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my stamen and I'm just gonna bend the end a little bit. Oh, I forgot to do my leaves. So before my glue dries, I'm gonna do my leaves really fast. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so now back to the stamen. So you put that little fold there, grab some hot glue, glue that down. Now I have my little glitter, well, what we like to call the glitter shitter. And I put glitter all over that hot glue just to kind of camouflage it. Okay, so while that dries, I'm gonna take this and this, and I'm gonna glue my base down. I like to use a lot of glue. You don't have to use that much. It just makes me happy, so that's what I do. And with that glue, I have a second to play with it. And then I grab my espresso. Okay, so now here is where you can decide if you want a sentiment or not. It is, it's a glitter shitter, Joanne. I don't know what else to call it. And this is where I decided to use the little mouse that says Happy Holidays. So I'm going to take this. Now remember, we did one side of this as highlight and one side as shadow. So I'm going to put my sentiment down here. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna grab my memento again. And I'll probably stamp this 2 or 3 times. Just because this craft cardstock is so dark. There's my Sandy Ladoohoo. Hi, Sandy. Ooh, it stamped really well the first time, but I'm going to go ahead and do a second one just because I want it to be dark. And again, my stamp chamois. If you guys don't have a stamp chamois, you definitely need one. Sandy, you literally just missed me putting the flower together. And I know you have a flower sitting there that you need to put together. So you're going to have to watch the replay. All right. So then I got to figure out which way my card base opens, because I want to make sure I'm putting this on there the proper way. Because how many times have you glued your card on the wrong way? If you're me, it's been quite a few. And I think the little bit of white peeking out around this card just highlights the white pencil that we used on that dark brown cardstock. I know, I even tagged you. Okay, so there we are with that. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put this flower on this card. You guys ready? Look at how pretty that is. So I'm going to put a dot of glue right in the middle. And I'm back to my hot glue, although you can use any glue you want for this. You could even use a glue dot. And I usually take my tweezers and push on it. Mainly because I don't like glitter all over my fingers. But it's really easy to find the center of this card. Okay, and then I'll take my leaves. I want the big one to be opposite of the Happy Holidays. And I'm being indecisive here on my glue. I guess I'll just use hot glue. For balance. And there you go. You have this really cool 3D card. Very simple, very easy to make. You guys know me and you know I can't do anything without stickles. So I'll add stickles or enamel dots to this just for happiness sake. And there you go. So another Christmas card of something that is not Christmas. This is a hibiscus flower, and yet by stamping Happy Holidays on there, it really looks Christmassy. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are loving making Christmas things out of things that are not Christmas. So that was today's project, and again, I will add this video to my YouTube so that you can reference it later. And I will see you all tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat place. Talk to you guys later. Bye, toodles.